Pieces that we're developing right now that I'm very excited about is the modular wheel upright, also known as a knuckle. This is what holds the bearings that hold the wheel onto the car. The car attaches to the wheel through this part right here. So all the suspension components, the brakes, everything attaches to this part right here. Now normally this would be a cast piece, probably cast out of iron in a great big foundry somewhere, difficult to make, expensive to capitalize, and an expensive and heavy part. We're working on the design of a modular wheel upright, one made entirely of 1/4-inch aluminum and aircraft grade flat fasteners. So this in theory could be built on a bandsaw and a drill press, maybe even hand tools. So it's going to hold the wheel bearing, which is buried down inside it now. I'll undo these bolts a little bit so you can see it better. The bearing that you're going to see essentially holds the wheel hub, which is this part right here. Now right now we're having some clearance problems, which we're going to work on. I'll show you those so you can understand what's going on. When I lift this plate here, you can see the very heavy duty set of bearings that hold the wheels onto the car. The problem that we have right now is there's a little bit of a clearance issue. The interface between this, and that, things are a little tight. The bolt heads interfere, stuff rubs.
Can you go back on that? What do you mean by the clearance? Like, how does it not fit?
Let me be more specific about that so that it's clear. Now in particular, this needs to sink all the way down to the lower part. Excuse me just a second.
Okay. So we got some music to listen to. That's kind of nice.
Sticking cell phones.
That's
you know
awesome.
How it goes. Sorry guys.
It's all good.
This piece needs to go all the way down in there. It'll be cold pressed, which means you probably use a very large hydraulic press to shove it in there. Not a complicated piece of machinery, just a powerful one. But the problem is that it needs to go down there to a depth where the heads here of these studs will be interfering with the bolts that hold it all together. We have identified a pattern here. I don't know if you can see that very clearly. A shape that in profile has to be milled out of this cover plate. So we're going to be milling out this hole, sort of dishing it out towards these dimensions so as to clear the projection of the hub itself right there, so it'll sink down a little bit further. That's our big objective. There's some other components that need to be attached on here, for example a steering arm and something to mount the brakes on. We're interested in help and input for those things. If anybody's interested and wants to get involved, feel free to contact us for reference so we can pair and move it forward even faster. With a component like this, we free ourselves from big manufacturers. People can make these themselves. They can be prototyped rapidly. We expect it to be lighter, easier to service, and more versatile than the existing heavy antediluvian components that we are stuck with. So that's the current progress on the wheel upright.
So lighter and easier to manufacture. And our current problem right now is our ability to do what with that thing? What is the current obstacle? Why?
Well, the problem essentially is one of fitment. We can't get it all together. This needs to sink down in there further than the clearance of these bolts and the size of this hole allows.
Got it.
Yep, that's why we're going to be.
So it needs to flush a little bit down, but at the same time hold the bearings from coming out.
That's right. And we have two solutions for that. One is to cut that dish into this hole. So this hole will be made sort of bigger, and there will be some additional material taken away that allows it to sink down further. And then to allow the nuts that will be on the end of this, we're going to have to mill some hexagon-shaped recesses in where now you see circles. And we have that diagrammed here roughly. So here's the plate, and so we're going to have hex shapes molded in there. That's going to, or cut out of there. That's going to allow us to get everything to fit together properly.
Okay. Thanks, Doctor.
You betcha.
Have a good one.